Hands up all the way around the place. We're going to go far left by the door. Sarah, if you'll turn around. So, Coach, right by the exit sign.
Coach, it was just a couple years ago. You were coming off 6 wins in 2 years. Then you found success at South Florida.
I don't remember that.
What did you learn then that led to your journey getting here to Tallahassee?
What did I learn then? To stick to the plan. Don't just give up because everyone else thinks it's not going the way that you want it to go. Stick to the plan, believe in your players, believe in the system, and just keep working to see it through. I was told a long time when I became a head football coach, in order to be successful, you got to have a vision. You got to have a plan. You got to have an unbelievable work ethic, and probably the most important thing, you got to have the patience to see it through. And you got to be careful when you say patience. As long as there's progress while being patient, things are headed in the right direction. And luckily, we had a great administration at South Florida that understood that and saw it through, and great things happened from that standpoint. And I think that's part of what I learned about it all.
Coach, right here at my left, first row.
Coach, you had brought up the tagline, lethal simplicity. Just to expand on that a little bit as we head into the fall about what that means for Florida State.
Just allowing, I think you heard Brian talk about it earlier, just allowing guys, just with the defense, allowing guys to line up and play football. We have some talented football players on our team, and we as coaches can't confuse them by being so complicated with a game that's simple and a game that these kids have been playing all their life, and we got to allow them to go play the game of football like we all know they can play and like we recruited them to play for. So just being simple and allowing our guys to play the game of football and have fun doing it, and also realizing they have a lot of other things on their plate, so you can't be as complicated as you want to be. Just keeping it simple and allowing them to be great at what they do.
Coach, let's follow the aisle all the way up on the left, sixth row.
David Hood with Taggart. Coach, I talked to you shortly after you took the job at Oregon when you stopped by Clemson for a day. If you had known, this is kind of jokingly, but if you had known that a year later you would be coaching the rival, would you have paid a little bit more attention to things around there? And then the second part would be, what did you take away from that visit with Dabo and his staff and kind of being on campus?
I wouldn't say I would have paid a lot more attention. I paid a lot of attention while I was there. Coach Sweeney has done a great job at Clemson, and I loved how he ran his program, and had a chance to meet with his offensive coordinator the year before, and was really impressed with him. And I think after meeting Coach Scott, I was like, I want to meet Coach Sweeney and see how all of this thing originated. But they've done a great job over the years, and once you go there and you get around the program and you see the environment, you see the culture, you can understand why they're having a lot of success at Clemson. So that was the purpose of going there, and it kind of, for me personally, just as a young coach and moving his way up, kind of clarify some things to me that we are doing it the right way where we're at, and continue to do things the way we're doing it. We'll get to where we all want to go.
To your right, second row.
Bob Holliday, WRL.com. Coach, welcome to the league. Thank you. In an explosive division, maybe the most explosive division in America, Florida State ranked last in offensive production last year. I was shocked to see that. Does that shock you?
Yeah, I think everything about last year shocked me when it came to Florida State. But that's football, and that's life, and that's behind us now, and it's on us now to change those things, because we know we can be a lot better than what we did last year, and that's the expectation for us, to be a lot better than what we performed last year. And so I'm looking forward to our guys changing that narrative.
How will your offense address those issues, your style, your scheme, and maybe bring back the fast break football that people saw from Florida State in the 90s?
Well, it all comes back to execution, and so we got to do a good job as coaches of explaining to our guys what needs to be done in order to be effective. And then we got to, again, put it back on our players and hold them accountable to doing their job. We know we have talented players, and if we coach them up and they're disciplined and they're fundamentally and technically sound, then we're gonna have ourselves a good football team and a good offense, defense, or special team. So we have talented players over there. We got to coach them up, and then we got to go out and make those plays to change what happened from last year.
Coach, to your left, about the fifth row towards the wall.
Tashawn Reed, The Athletic. Coach, how would you describe your vision for this program, not just for this upcoming season, but for years to come?
My vision for this program is to win multiple championships in a first-class manner. That's our vision. That's going to always be our vision, and to me, that's what Florida State is all about, and that's what I grew up watching and loving when it came to Florida State football. Every year they were competing for a championship, and every year they were winning. So that's our goal, that's our vision, and that's why we all come to Florida State University, is to win championships.
Coach, your next two questions from the cameras in the very back. First one in
That's
the
a lot of cameras.
It is, Al.
Morning, Coach. Aslan Javani with WarChant.com. Was just wondering if you could kind of let us know how does the conversations kind of go in the office to figure out who you're going to bring for ACC kickoff, and why did you ultimately choose Cam and Brian?
There wasn't a lot of conversation. It was just, Coach, who you want to take? And they're probably the last two guys I saw that day and had a great conversation with. No, but these guys have been stand-up guys for us. They've done everything we've asked them to do. They are exactly what we need when it comes to leadership and guys that represent our football program. And we have plenty of guys, but we're told we only bring two, and that's tough to do. But I don't think anybody would second-guess the guys we brought here today. They're guys that when you describe Florida State University and playing for Florida State, these two guys are the type of guys you want in the program. I mean, they came here to win championship, and they know what it's all about to be here and what it represents. So I'm happy with the guys we brought here. To be honest with you, I could have brought any of our players and been really happy with them, considering the work they've done this offseason and things they've done since I've been here.
Again, from the cameras.
Coach, you're the only new head coach here at ACC Kickoff in 2018, and the league has obviously gotten a lot better over the last 5 years, and it's astronomically better than when Florida State joined the league in 1992. How much does the ACC getting better maybe, I guess you could say, make your job a little bit more difficult to try to bring Florida State back to the expectations of Florida State?
I wouldn't necessarily say it makes my job difficult, but I would say it's a great conference, and I mean, I think if you look at it being the only new coach in this conference, and only new coach, and the coach before didn't get fired, says a lot about this conference and the winning that goes on, and you understand that each and every week you got to come and play your A game, and each and every week you can get beat by any team in this conference. So you got to play your A game, and for us at Florida State, it's not about anybody else. It's about us and about the way we play. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's difficult. Gonna make it more difficult. It's on us to go out and perform and do the things that we know we're capable of doing, and it's on us to go out and earn the respect and get back to the days that we all know Florida State can and should be.
To your right in the second row.
You want to pick up the tempo with the spread offense. How's that process going? How much faster is it going to look to the fans than last year? And above all, talk about Cam and his suitability for this offense.
Tempo, now with our tempo, and I hear people talking about it, it'll be faster than what we've been before. We're not a team that's trying to get 100 plays. We don't do tempo to get 100 plays. We're trying to get explosive plays. We're going to tempo when we want to, and from that standpoint, so it'll be faster. We won't huddle, so that's going to be a change by itself. But the key is to create explosive plays, and I think that's something we all want, and we have the players to do that. You talk about explosive plays, you got explosive players like Cam. He's a tremendous talent, and if you, as a coach, you got to find ways to get him the football and allow him to do the things that he's capable of doing. And we saw that this past season as a freshman, him doing the things that he did. And again, you only can see that he only can get better, and he will get better. And I'm excited about it. again, we've always been able to run the football wherever I've been, and we don't plan on that stopping anytime soon.
Back to the cameras, sort of to your left, first row.
Hi, Coach. Dave Walsh from ABC 13 in Lynchburg, Virginia. Week 1, primetime matchup against Virginia Tech. Just if you could, please talk about an opponent like Virginia Tech that has 19 wins over their last 2 seasons, but also making sure your team in your first game with Florida State, making sure they're ready for that kind of spotlight and attention right out of the gate.
Well, I think we all know we're going up against a good opponent, a well-coached football team, and a team that knows how to win. And I think if you just go back to last season, our guys played in a big-time game like this, and they understand what it's going to take. And for our guys, we got to make sure that we prepare so we can have a better outcome than what we did before. But I don't think playing a big game like this is new to our players, and we just got to make sure we prepare and make sure we do the things that it takes for us to be as good as we need to be on that day. Again, it's not about who we're playing; it's about us playing at our best, and we got to make sure we're training that way in training camp every single day, and we're taking care of our bodies, and then go out and then perform the way we train.
Right here at my left.
Coach, I asked Cam and Brian what their impressions were of you. What were your impressions of this team as a whole when you walked in, knowing the history of Florida State and then obviously knowing that they had that adversity last year?
Coming in, and again, I was fortunate to come in, and these guys were still practicing for a bowl game, and that's new to me. But it was a blessing for me, too, to actually see them out working and taking coaching and sitting in meetings and seeing how guys respond to all those little things. And I was impressed with all of them. I think we have at first coming here, to be quite honest with you, I thought I was going to come here and have a bunch of turds. We don't. We had a bunch of really good young men that want to be great, that want to, that have some big dreams and some big goals, and just the reason why they came to Florida State, and to get around them and get to know them a little better. You can see that there's a lot of good kids here that want to do well, and that gets you fired up as a coach. I hadn't had anybody I had to dismiss off the football team, and that says a lot about our players. Guys that want to be there and want to be a part of the culture that we're trying to create. So that was, for me, it was very gratifying that I didn't have to do any of those things, and get you excited every single day to get up to help these guys, because they want it really bad, and they're showing it by the way they train, and they're showing it by the way they're going to class and how they're changing their ways academically, socially, and I can't wait to training camp and then the season to show how much they've changed it when it comes to football.
Your last question will come from Bob here in the second row.
DeAndre was playing so well against Alabama and then got hurt. James had to come in and play the season, played well, certainly at times. Tell us about the quarterback position here in 2018 under Willie Taggart.
This is the last question?
It is.
Someone finally asked me about the quarterbacks, huh? We have, and I know everyone talks about James Blackman and DeAndre Francois, and we leave out Bailey Hockman. He's another quarterback on our roster that's talented and going to have an opportunity to compete for the job. And I'm kind of like the rest of you all. I'm ready to see who's going to be our quarterback as well. And I'm excited. It's the first time I've been in a position as a head football coach where we have 3 guys that can play for you. So I'm looking forward to training camp and looking forward to these young men competing for the job. That's why they came to Florida State, and understand that. They understand that when you come here, you're going to have to compete. Nothing's going to be given to you, and they appreciate that. But those are the type of kids that we bring to Florida State, and I'm excited to see these guys go out and compete this training camp. And I'm just like the rest of you. Can't wait to see who separate themselves. And as we go into the season, and as soon as they do that, we will let you all know who our quarterback will be.
Coach, thanks a lot. Welcome to the league.
Thank you very much, and have a great day if you all want to.